Halloween is almost upon us, and most MMOs are running spooky events of all kinds. But if you are looking for horror that keeps giving you chills all through the year, this list is for you. Any MMO can quickly turn into a horror story if you step into a dungeon with a newbie tank, a lazy healer, or underperforming damage dealers. The mobs will do unspeakable things to your little party, and you'll never want to see that place again. But if you are looking for another kind of terrifying experience, check out the titles in this video. Since this is a quite limited genre of games, we have included some games that might not technically be MMOs in the true sense, but will still deliver some great multiplayer horror action. Kicking off our list at 11th is Dead Frontier 2. You can play it alone or you can play with others. No matter how you choose to experience Dead Frontier 2, it won't be easy. Zombies are out to get you, and they come in hordes. If you think that you can rely on guns and ammo, think again. This is a horror survival game in which consumables are scarce. The economy is player-driven, so, in true MMO fashion, players depend on each other. When you're tired of hunting zombies, give your fellow players hell in PvP fights. Dead Frontier 2 is free to play, so you can try it right now. Moving on to 10th. A stalker-inspired free-to-play MMORPG? Yes, please. Stay Out comes with a warning for mature content, violence, and blood. The game is set in a desolated urban environment. As stalkers, players will adventure into forgotten places, uncover mysteries, and investigate anomalies. They will also face the dangers of the alienation zone in an attempt to retrieve powerful artifacts and treasures. Survival elements make each consumable count. And to make things even more challenging, PvP is part of the gameplay. 9th place goes to a veteran MMO. Age of Conan is an MMO that is set in the brutal and savage world of Conan the Barbarian. AOC is filled with blood and gore, and the undead lurk around every corner. The game is filled with dark and gritty content to fight your way through, making it perfect for fans of horror and dark fantasy. Mad World: Age of Darkness is in 8th. Mad World: Age of Darkness is a horror MMO that takes place in a post-apocalyptic world. The game features a unique art style and is sure to be a hit with fans of the genre. Mad World features a top-down isometric view and ARPG looter elements, similar to games such as Diablo and Path of Exile, but with cartoony graphics. Mad World will be released this winter. Mortal Online 2 takes the 7th spot. Mortal Online 2 is not for the faint of heart. The world of Nave truly is grim, but the scariest part is not the monsters, it's the other players. Mortal Online 2 is a full-loot sandbox MMO with an emphasis on PvP. The game features a unique, player-driven economy. In the game, players can harvest resources and craft items to sell to other players. The game also features an in-depth combat system that rewards strategic thinking. If you're looking for a dark and brutal MMO with a lot of player interaction, then Mortal Online 2 is definitely worth checking out. Who remembers Hellgate? Hellgate London is a classic in multiplayer horror action, but the official servers were turned off a long time ago. Thankfully, the game is available as a single-player experience on Steam. A fan-made private server named London 2038 is also available for those of you that want to experience the multiplayer version of the game as it was back in 2007. In Hellgate London, you play as a survivor of the apocalypse, tasked with fighting back the demons that has taken over the world. DayZ is in 5th. There are many zombie-themed survival games out there, but if you're looking for a hardcore experience, then you must try DayZ. This game has a feature that most MMOs are lacking these days: harsh death penalties. Massive interaction is achieved with 60-player scenarios. Team up, fight against others, and do what you can to stay alive. PvP is the main focus of this survival game. Watch out for other players, but don't forget that the environment can also kill you. DayZ is not free to play, however, the very positive Steam reviews indicate that it's worth the money. In 4th place we have a newcomer. Broken Ranks entered onto the MMO scene in 2022 with its unique turn-based combat and isometric graphics. Inspired by old-school RPG titles such as Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale, Broken Ranks puts you in the middle of a dark and dangerous world, where you'll have to face off against all sorts of horrifying creatures. From vampires and werewolves to ghosts and ghouls, there is no shortage of things that go bump in the night in Broken Ranks. Path of Exile takes 3rd. Truth be told, we would love to feature a Diablo game in our list of horror games, but as we all know, none of the Diablo games can hold a candle to Path of Exile in 2022. But don't worry, the setting is just as dark and the ARPG action is just as brutal. Despite it not being an MMO, Path of Exile will still satisfy that urge for dark fantasy-themed multiplayer RPG action. Seeing the loot explode from your slain enemies is one of the best feelings in the world. Path of Exile also features one of the best and most complex skill trees in any game. In second, we find the Secret World. This game has a dark and twisted plot, and it's sure to keep you on your toes. The game is set in the modern day, but it's full of conspiracy theories, monsters, and other creepy things. Start with H.P. Lovecraft and Stephen King. Add some Edgar Allan Poe, throw vampires and zombies into the mix, creepy urban legends, and sprinkle ancient mythology all over, and that's the secret world for you. All things horror come together in this MMORPG by Funcom. The result is a catchy story that will take at least 100 hours to complete. New World is our winner. Set in a dark and dangerous world of monsters, magic, and mayhem, New World is an MMO that is sure to please horror fans and traditional MMO fans alike. An open-world MMO with a medieval flavor, New World transports players to a fictional location in the 17th century. The game features a dark atmosphere and supernatural elements. The classless system gives players the chance to create unique builds by mixing weapons, attributes, and trade skill talents. Defeat the monsters that inhabit the Eternal Isle and go against other players in massive guild wars. Either way, the fight never stops. New World has a one-time purchase business model with microtransactions. So, there you have it, a few of the best horror and dark fantasy MMOs available. If you're looking for a good scare, then these are the games for you. Do you have a favorite horror or dark fantasy MMO? Let us know in the comments below. And remember to subscribe to MMORPG.gg for more MMO news and reviews.